Hi everyone, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to show you how to make this fabulous project using our new Christmas Magnolia stamp and die set, along with the Frosty paper pack and the beautiful new Snowflake circles die. So we're going to dive on in and get started with this project. If you haven't done so already, please do hit subscribe to our YouTube channel or give us a like on Facebook, where we'll have lots more inspirational ideas. As always, all of the materials that I'm using for today's project are listed in the description below. You can shop all of the items online at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. Right then, we're going to dive on in and get started. So today we are going to be using the brand new Christmas Magnolia stamp and die set, and this is a huge stamp and die set. This is the first time that we've ever done an A5 floral stamp and die set. So you've got your 3 5-petal flowers and your 3 3-petal flowers on here, along with some leaves and a little Christmas sentiment as well. On your die set, you've got your dies that cut out all of the elements apart from your sentiment, and you've also got the stamen die as well. So it's really, really a lovely set, and for more than just Christmas as well. So this is what it's going to look like in the packet. Just to explain too, these dies, each of the stamps has a tiny little extra notch of polymer on the top. Can you see that there? It's a little bit harder to see on these designs with them being pointed at the ends of the petals, but that then corresponds with the little notch that's out of the die. So it just helps you to line them up and know which petal's which, but they are really, really easy shapes to line up. So we're going to get started by firstly taking a piece of our beautiful crystal white paper, and I've taken the medium and the small magnolia flower for this one. I'm going to take an anti-static bag and just give my paper, a little dust over with that. That's just going to get rid of any fingerprints, any oily residue that may be on there. I'm then going to take my Wow clear embossing ink pad and I'm going to ink up my stamp. So lots of light tapping all over the image, and then we're just going to place that down onto the paper and press. And you want firm, even pressure all over the stamp. So for this particular design, you are going to need 4 of the medium and 4 of the small flowers. Then going to lift that off, and we're going to cover those with the metallic silver Superfine embossing powder. I've got a piece of scrap paper that I can just slide underneath here. There we go, and then you can tap away the excess powder. Anything, of course, that you don't use is going to go straight back into the jar. So we're going to take our heat gun now, and we're going to heat this up. So just holding the heat gun still, and then as soon as we see that embossing powder start to melt and change from a dull grey to a lovely bright shiny silver, that's when you are going to move your heat gun. Like so. We're then going to take the 2 corresponding dies, and we're just going to place these over the top. So for example, on my block, I should have mentioned this, I had the little extra notch pointing upwards. So now, because I've stamped this a weird way, the little notch is going to be this way. So if I pop my little die over the top, you can just pop that into position like so and press. And we're going to do exactly the same with this one. Pop our die into the right place and tape that down. I always like to use 2 little bits of tape as well, because that just helps to stop the die moving when you run it through your machine. So you're then going to use so I'm using the Gemini, so I'm going to use the base plate, the plastic shim, the paper with the die and the cutting plate on the top, and then I'm going to run that through my machine. We're going to grab that when it comes out the other side, and then we are going to add in a little bit of Sparkelicious glitter. So we're then just going to take these flowers and pop them out like so. So you can see how beautiful they are then looking. And we're going to take our Dries Clear PVA. So I always use the Art Glitter Dries Clear adhesive for all of my glittering. It really is fabulous. And you can get the little metal tip that goes on the end. And what that does is it means it's really, really precise. So it's nice and easy to glitter into different areas. So what I'm then going to do is just go in with my glue and just trace around the edge. Like so, and trace around the silver parts in the centre. I'm just going to flood that with the glue. I'm not too worried about the silver bit at the top, to be fair. We're just going to work around infilling this. Like so. Then we're going to take our glitter, sprinkle it over the top and tap away the excess like so. And then you can see how beautiful and sparkly that then looks. So you'd work around and do all the petals, and you do all the petals on the smaller ones as well. So you'd end up with 4 medium and 4 small, sorry. So I've got some that have already dried. So I will move on and show you how to shape up these fabulous flowers. So I've got these ones that I've already stuck some of them together, but I've left one apart so I can show you exactly what to do. So what you're going to do is pinch down the centre of the petals. So I'm just pinching between my finger and thumb, like so, and just working round. And then you're going to put a blob of glue into the middle. You're going to place the flowers one on top of each other, and then you're going to pop that down in the middle and just press with your finger. And that's then your flowers stuck together. The next part that we need to do though is the little acetate layer that goes on the top. So I've got a little piece of heat resistant acetate here. Again, I'm going to give it a little dust with my anti-static bag, like so, and I'm going to grab my stamps in. I think they'll both fit on this little piece here. Okay, so I've dusted that over with my anti-static bag. I'm going to ink up my stamps, again with that Wow Clear Embossing ink pad. I'm going to position those down and press. You want to keep one hand on the stamp and use your other hand to press at all times. And we're going to lift that off, the acetate hopefully. Oh, I put a little bit too much pressure on there. I'm going to do that again. I think I just smudged that a little bit when I lifted it off. Right, so another piece of acetate. Little anti-static bag's got a bit of a hole in as well there. Right, so heat resistant acetate, you're going to ink up your stamp, lots of light tapping. Then we're going to place this down. You just want to be careful that you don't slide on the acetate, and then you want to press and lift off. You don't need much pressure on the acetate at all. So get rid of that one. And I'm going to take my metallic silver sparkle Wow powder this time, and we're going to sprinkle that over the top. And you can see we've got those lovely magnolias there. And then we're going to heat this up. So to do that, we're going to hold that heat gun still. As soon as that embossing powder melts and changes, we're going to move the heat gun over the image. Like so. And you'll find that your embossing will go really, really quickly on the acetate as well. So what we're going to do now is cut out these flowers. So you do get the dies, but when you're stamping and embossing on acetate, I would always recommend just cutting out your layers with scissors. Because what you can find is with the embossing powder being like a plastic, and obviously acetate is a plastic, when you run it through your die cutting machine, your embossing can sometimes crack off. So I just tend to use my scissors and just roughly trim around the edge. Again, because you're working on acetate, you don't need to be kind of too careful or anything like that. You can literally just nip around the edges like so. I'm going to do the same with this one here. So just want to whiz around the edge. Like so. So you need to do 2 medium and 2 small to create this full finished project at home. Then we're going to grab in some glitter. So the one that I'm using is Diamante Sparkle. And we're going to grab in our Dries Clear Glue again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a dot of glue at the ends of each of the lines on the petals. And then a little dot in the gap in between as well. So you're just working round, popping that glue on. Then we're going to sprinkle over that Sparkelicious glitter. And we're going to tap away the excess like so. And you can see how fab that then looks. Okay, so I've got some that are already dry that I'll bring in to show you. So you need to do your 2 medium and your 2 small to complete the project. What you're then going to do is take the flowers, and on each of them you want to bend the petals up towards you like so. So you're just going to work round, pulling up the petals like so. And then we're going to grab in the paper ones that we've already created, and we're going to layer these up. Now ordinarily, I have to be honest and say I would use a 3D glue gel to stick my acetate on. So something like your pin flare glue or your collal. But I'll be completely honest with you all, I've been crafting like I don't know what this week, so I've run out of the glue gel, but I really wanted to film this tutorial to show you all. So I'm just going to use a foam pad to stick mine together today. But ordinarily, I would definitely use my collal glue gel or pin flare, either or. So I'm going to just take a couple of foam pads, I'm going to trim these down, and I'm just going to pop them onto my little acetate layer, and I'm going to stick that down in the middle. I mean, the foam pads will still hold it, it'll still work. I just like to have the manoeuvrability with glue personally. It's going to go there. Medium one in there, and then I'm going to trim a little bit more off this here. So I'm going to go there, like so. So you can see how nicely we've got those all built up. Okay, but what I want to show you how to do next is how to make these gorgeous little stamens to go in the middle of your flowers. So what I've done is I've taken the medium and the small stamen dies from the set. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to layer up 2 of the medium and 1 small, and you want to do that twice for your 2 medium flowers. Before we stick it together though, I'm going to just give it a little twirl round with my finger. I'm going to put a little blob of glue in the middle. And exactly the same with this one as well. Okay, and then for the small one, we're going to take 2 of the small and stick those together. So you need to do what I've just done twice, and then that's going to give you enough for each of your flowers. Okay, I'm going to grab in the Frosty Christmas Bling box as well. I'm going to put one of the lovely silver stones into the middle. Just going to go there. And then I'm going to just glue these in. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this Dry's Clear glue just to glue these into the centre. And they will grab. They're just going to take a couple of minutes for the adhesive just to grab onto the acetate. Again, ordinarily I would probably use a little bit of 3D glue gel for this. There we go. And then you can see how gorgeous those flowers are that we've created. So what we're going to do now is pop these flowers to one side. Again, you can just see that glue. That glue just needs a couple of seconds to grab. There we go. So we'll pop those to one side and we're going to build up the background of the card. Now, when I did the original one, let me grab it in to show you. I just stuck a piece of pattern paper under here, but I felt like after I made it, I was like, oh, I think it would look better with a little border around. So that's what we're going to do. So the papers that I'm using are all from the Frosty Christmas paper pad. So I have got my mats and layers chopped down here. So let me just grab these in. I've got my base card. I've got a piece of mirror card. One. There we go. I think. Just double check. Yes. Right, so I'm going to put a little mat of silver behind. So I'm going to start off. I've got a piece of silver mirror card and I've put that down to 7 3/4 inches square. I'm just going to stick that down flat onto my card. So I'm just going to use my Collal all-purpose glue to stick this one on like so. It's going to go onto there. I'm going to pop that to one side and I'm going to grab in my piece of scrap paper. I'm going to grab in my glass slipper glitter. I'm also going to use my chisel tip glue pen. And I'm just going to drag towards me along the edge like so. Just to add a little glittery border on the side of our card. There we go. And then I'm going to stick that down flat onto our card blank. So again, a little bit of glue just onto the back. And stick that down there. I'm going to pop that to one side and I want to show you how to create this lovely snowflake border. So to start with, I've taken a piece of our crystal white pearl card. I've cut it down to 8 inches square and then I've taken my snowflake frame die. I've taped it on each of the 4 corners and then we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. So I'm using my base plate, my plastic shim, my die cut side up with a card on top, and then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. And what you'll find with this die is you probably will need to rotate it by 90 degrees and run it through again because it is very large and very detailed. So we'll grab that when it gets to the other side. And then we're going to rotate that by 90 degrees. So rotate that round that way. Pop our cutting plate back on the top and send that back through the machine. And like so. So we'll grab that when it comes out the other side. And I have got one that I've already die cut, so I don't have to show you how to push all of the little bits out. So when we take that out, you will see we have got the most perfect die cut. Snowflake circle. And all you'd need to do is just go around with your pokey tool and just poke all these little extra bits out that have remained in the card. So I've got that I've already done on this one here. Okay, what we're then going to do is take our Crystallina glitter. and we're going to grab in a chisel tip glue pen. So exactly the same as what I've just used. And then what we're going to do is literally just scribble over the snowflakes like so. And then I'm going to dunk that into the glitter. So that is then going to give us this gorgeous little glittery border. Just around the edge. Like so. I'm going to dunk that into our glitter again. Just working around. Just trying to see where I'm up to. I've got so many lights on in this room as well. It's ever so bright. So I'm just going to work my way around. Scribbling over the snowflakes. Like so. There we go, and then you've got that gorgeous little glittery border going around the edge, which looks so pretty. So what we're going to do then is we're going to pop some foam pads onto the back of here. So I'll stick these on, like so. Grab in a couple more. Whip the backs off of those. And then we're going to stick that down into the middle of our project. And then I've taken the next circle down and I've taped it onto some of our beautiful snowflake paper on the same foiled paper pad. Just going to run that through our Gemini as well to die out our mats and layers. Grab that out the other side. And then we've got the next size down in the snowflake circles to go on. And then I've got another one here, which is the next little plain circle, and I'm going to die cut that out of another piece of patterned paper. So we're just going to run that through again. And then we'll grab that at the other side when it comes out. Okay then, so what we're then going to do is we're going to glue this snowflake layer down flat first of all. And then we're going to pop some foam pads on the back of here. And a little foam pad in the middle. These are, of course, our fabulous foam pads on a roll. Then we're going to foam pad the next layer as well. Do. Whip the backs off of this one. middle there. So you can see how we've got our mats and layers built up really nicely. I'm going to go in and add my little jewels into the corner at this point as well, because I do find it a little bit easier sometimes doing it now. So again, I'm just using the Bling box and I'm going to use the middle-sized ones. I'm going to put 3 dots in each corner. So I'm going to go 2 up and 2 across, if that makes sense. And then we're going to grab our little jewels. Got my little picker up tool here. So I'm going to pop these down onto here like so. And we're going to work all the way around. So, and then we're going to do exactly the same here. Like so. And then I've taken our Joy to the World die and I've cut it out of mirror card this time. Whereas on this one, I did it on a double-sided adhesive sheet and I die cut it out and covered it in glitter. But I thought the mirror card just allows it to stand out a little bit more. So I've just die cut that one out. It is a beautiful, beautiful die. So I'm going to just, the way I tend to glue this, just notice there's a little bit stuck in the leaf there. There we go. Is I tend to just put a little dot of glue onto each of the stars, and that tends to be enough to hold it. But it's a beautiful detailed die this, and it's lovely for the insides of your projects as well, if you want to put a sentiment inside. Okay, so we're just going to stick that down. We're then going to position our little flowers into place. So we're going to pop 2 in the top corner and 2 in the bottom, and then we're going to do a little bit of foliage. So again, ordinarily I would use 3D glue gel, but I'm just going to use a bit of a foam pad to stick the flowers on today. Pop that one there, and then we'll pop this one over here. I'm going to do exactly the same again. One there, and stick that one over there, like so. So you can see how fab that's then looking. So next up we just need to do our foliage. So I'm going to use one of the stamps, and this is from the Christmas branches set. This came out last year, but it's such a beautiful stamp and die set. I think it's been a little bit underrated, to be honest, but it's absolutely lovely. It's fabulous for using as foliage as well. So again, a piece of acetate. I just dusted that with my anti-static bag, and I'm going to ink up my stamp. I'm just using my Wow clear embossing ink pad, and we're going to need to do 4 branches. I'm going to stamp one there, re-ink my stamp, one there. One here, and one at the top as well. Shimmy that round. I think I might have just mis-stamped one, so I might do a little extra. I like to stamp like a batch of foliage normally. That's what I tend to do. So that's there, and then if I put that one there. Right, there we go. So we'll grab in some scrap paper again, and we're going to use the Wow Metallic Silver Sparkle for this one. So we're going to sprinkle that over, like so, tap away the excess. It's going to go back into the jar. get rid of all this glitter and mess there. And then I'm just going to heat these up. So again, all I'm doing is holding that heat gun still. As soon as I see that embossing powder melt and change, I'm moving the heat gun over the image. There we go. Then we're going to just trim these out. So again, I'm just going to roughly cut the branches out. So all I do is just roughly trim around the edge. Not careful at all. You can go as close or as far away as you like. When you get it on your project, you're not really going to see. So again, just using the blade of my scissors. Just going to work round. And there we go, and then we'll do one more here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is stick these onto our card. So again, ordinarily I would use a little bit of 3D glue. I'm just going to use a little bit of PVA today just to stick these on. So just a little bit behind there. And you can just arrange your foliage and tuck it in. Tend to tuck it underneath the flowers, like so. A little piece at the top, and here, a little bit at the bottom. What you can do as well, actually I'll do it on this one to show you, is you can cut a little bit off the foliage. So we do sometimes do that as well. So a bit of glue on there. And you can just tuck a smaller piece in if you find it's a little bit too big for your project. You can always just trim it down and just put a small piece of it on as well if you want to. So that would then be your completed card. So I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and you have enjoyed crafting along with me. Of course, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chloe's Creative Cards. All of the materials that I've been using are listed in the description below. And please do hop over and have a little look on the website at chloescreativecards.co.uk. where you've got loads and loads of new projects going up on the blog regularly, so there is sure to be something to inspire you. I really hope to see you again soon. Bye!